for the real gamers.
People say, Jeffy, what do you do now if you're not making video games? My current profession is burning bridges, so there's no way Microsoft would ever hire me because I think Phil Spencer is a genius executive, but he's a shitty fucking manager when it comes to managing product development. Because proof's in the pudding, okay? But what do you think it is about Sony? Whether it is Shu or Connie or Scott or Shannon Studstill for a while or Yumi Yang, what the fuck do they do, from your experience, because now you've been to a couple of different places, that allows them to consistently be able to manage the creative process as well as they do when companies like Microsoft that have all these resources, they just can't seem to get it together? What is that? What do you have a theory?
My theory is that Sony hasn't been worried about the bottom line. You know, it's a factor. But they really, for the longest time, they wanted to make great games that sold the hardware. So that still exists, and I still think it's the dominant DNA, despite everything else we already talked about. So it's just something where I feel like that lack of a corporate vibe, where there's shareholders that are feel like they're involved with this. They're just letting really talented developers do their thing with some feedback, but not direction. And it's when you hire the right talent, the right talented developers and retain them, then it's going to lead to great games. And I think it's as simple as that. It's just trying to create great games, not trying to create great bottom lines.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. And that's good. It's so crazy that other companies just can't seem to get it together. It's right there. Go to fucking Sony College. Look at what they do. Replicate it. Okay. Where do you go? Rob DeMont says, as a big fan of Sons of Anarchy, I feel like Days Gone was made for me. After unlocking the true ending, it is lame that we won't see part 2. Rob DeMont, thank you, sir. He's not saying that.
Our warriors. The phase may be released. Let's head into the inner planes.
Where he's not saying that. He's not saying that. But Rampton Bodman says, what do you think about creating a PlayStation boutique label? Smaller games, smaller budget with expectations set. Place for Siphon Filter to live. I'll give you my answer first. I fucking love it. I don't know why Sony doesn't do it. Maybe they just, I don't fucking know. What do you think about that, though?
Tell me about this place.
I'm sorry, I was reading that text.
Yeah.
Dotted ruins dating back to the unification. The Valorians kept several libraries here. Some Vargo leaders are coordinating the warbands. Point them out.
Well, basically the idea of what about a place, how a lot of movie studios open up sort of boutique, smaller indie labels under Fox Films or whatever. Why doesn't Sony, or what do you think about Sony opening up like PlayStation Boutique, where there are $5 million, $8 million games, and they can do a Siphon Filter, they can do a Twisted, or they can do a Slide that doesn't have to look and be at the production value level, but still brings those games back into the fold and into fans? What does your business sense say? Would that do well, or that probably wouldn't do well?
The thing about hits is you don't know until you know, right? So I think that definitely the idea of you never know something's going to be successful until it's out. And when you hear developers like Naughty Dog not kind of being worried that Uncharted 1 was maybe not going to be a success, it just shows that we're all insecure and we don't know. So nothing is guaranteed to be successful. And a lot of things definitely like Minecraft coming out of a one-man team. Among Us coming from very small teams. Those are great. So for every one of those, there's 100 or 1,000, 100 or 1,000 kind of things that you never hear of. So I think the idea of placing your bets on placing your chips on a lot of bets is a good idea. Right. But you just got to be mindful of the success rate is probably going to be a low percentage. But ideally, when the one or two things hit over time, they're going to be big. And I think that's worth doing if the companies have tolerance for loss. But in order to kind of sustain the next IP, 20 years down the road, like maybe you have to start with lower stress development environment.
I think so. Callers, I'm not going to be able to get to your calls. If I can get Jeff back on, we will make that a bigger part of the show. But his voice is going, and I only have a few more minutes with him, and I got to get through these super chats. I so appreciate you guys being patient. It will be the first thing we do if we can convince Jeff to come back on. But I don't want to hold him any longer than he's already given us well over 2 hours. So thank you guys. I will be more than happy to stay on and talk to you, but I can't keep Jeff until when Jeff says it's time. We'll keep talking, but he's going to go. So if you want to hang on the off chance he wants to talk, but it's not. I mean, the guy's given us a lot of fucking time, so I'm just giving you a warning because I don't want you to be upset with me. Okay, Christopher drops from chat. Jaffe and Jeff, thank you so much for doing this interview. It's fantastic. Jeff can't speak. His voice is going, and I will say on behalf of him, cool, man. We're awesome. No, I appreciate it, Jeff. Thank you as well. Jojo D drops from chat. He says, my 53-year-old brother is asking, do you own a bike, Jeff? What is it, and more importantly, why did you choose that bike?
Yes, so I started riding a motorcycle halfway through development of Days Gone. And before then, I was just terrified of motorcycles, just because motorcycles. But I was just really intrigued. I mean, we didn't need to use that to bring anything to the bike itself, but just a matter of I spent a lot of time on a motorcycle in the game, and I'm like, this is kind of fascinating. I want to know what the fuss is about. So me and another designer we did the safety course, got our licenses, and when I was at the Harley dealership, I'm like, oh, I just want a bike. It's my first bike. I'm probably going to lay it down. I'm probably going to fuck it up somehow, so let me get it. So the cheapest one, but the best looking Harley at the shop was an Iron Horse 883, I think. And the guy says, people try talking me out of it, but they're like, you can't go 120 on the freeway. Well, I don't want to go 120 on the freeway because I'm a pussy.
Right.
And that's why I haven't ridden a bike this whole time. So I got the 883, and I've had it for like maybe 3 or 4 years. I have crashed it, broke my ankle one time too, so I feel like I'm a real biker now. But I still ride it, and I will ride on the freeways here in town. Going 70, 80, it feels just fine. A little bit more power would have been nice in hindsight, but just not to use it, but to use it when you need it would have been the thing. But it's a blast to be riding a bike. The world looks at you different. You pull into a gas station, they call you sir. They're very respectful. Yeah, that's fascinating. And the coolest moment was I was driving down the road from work one night, and there was construction up ahead. And before I got there, I'm like, I can't go through. So I started turning around and like, oh, no, come on. And they started moving stuff aside from me and everything. So it's really weird. I mean, you get a lot of dudes giving you like a thumbs up in cars and stuff like that. That's would have preferred women to be more into it, but it's just a lot of fun. It's cool to wear the jacket, the helmet, and the boots, and ride around. And it's if you be safe, wear a helmet. If you get to do safety courses, you'll learn that it's usually the rider's fault if there's ever an accident. It's like 80% of them are your fault. If you get to a comfort level, they're economical. They're good on the fuel economy's great. They're fun to ride. I wish I would have done it sooner.
That's awesome. I think it's amazing that they look at you different. That's and again, I'm telling you, I'm playing again. Whatever, it's just my head. When I play Days Gone, there's a I'm very in my creative work and in my business work. I consider myself apex predator. I'm alpha. Nothing will stop me. Blah blah blah. Everywhere else in my life, I'm beta as they come. Call me soy boy. I'm like, yes, I like soy milk. It's good stuff. So when I play Days Gone, it's the manliest I feel. I mean, I feel cool when I'm taking the knife and opening trunks and popping hoods and taking out, alterators and shit. There's something about it that I don't experience. So maybe that vibe actually comes through in the game, and maybe I should get a bike now. I'm just talking to myself now. Hey Siri, remind me to call my therapist and ask about a bike.
You could split lanes down there though with a bike. Do you think of all that traffic?
That's perfect. Yeah, Jeff, Classic Krusty says you need a biker babe. I don't know if he's married or not, or what he's into or not, but you need a biker partner is what they're saying. Okay, fair enough. Okay, Willie says, should critics have to show proof they finished the game, at least the main story, before putting out a review?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. RBT, thank you for that. How do you feel about the way Contextual says open world games tell a story? Gaps and cutscenes being rewarded. Also can be too many bad, like Metal Gear Solid is to some people. How do you feel gaps in cutscenes being rewarded? I don't know what that means, Contextual. If you want to I can ask him offline, and I'm more than happy to get back to you with an answer because you paid for it. But I don't know what to do with that. Somebody 89 says, "Thank God Chaffee doesn't follow Apple anymore." Yeah, they broke my heart, man. I was a total fanboy. Thank you for that. Okay, Gun Crazy says, no, we already did that one. Contextual Gamer, he's the guy who says you missed my $5 chat. I don't understand your question. So don't pay for it, but and guys, as much as I love that you're sending us money, I gotta let him go. So please don't send any more super chats. Ask me again, and I will get an answer from Jeff for you, Contextual. But I don't understand your question. Rambo says, "Thanks so much for being on the interview. Thoughts on higher frame rates updating a game from 30 to 60 and even higher? Like, what if playing Days Gone in 120 frames, and how would that enhance gameplay?"
Play it on the PC. You guys will be able to see.
It's 120 on the PC?
It's unlocked.
Interesting. And what do you think, though? I mean, do you think it matters?
I think the performance matters. Days Gone running at 30 until you know better is awesome.
Right.
You can get it at 30. But playing at 60, there's no going back. It changes. It changes your mindset for everything. For a game to just kind of be so responsive and fluid is we should all be striving for that. Okay. And the tension there is, do we want a beautiful frame or do we want 60 frames? And
right.
Designers, 60 frames feels better. And beyond that, I don't know how much value there is. There's people that love to stress their video cards. 60 to me is really impressive. It's twice as much as it was before, and it was fine. It was fun at 30. So, but 60 I think should be the new floor.
Cool, I agree. Neo-wise, is the SSD in the PS5 a way to help make open world game design different or easier, or evolve the genre?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, what people will notice with Days Gone on the PS5 is the install went way down because with that SSD, it's slow memory. It's a fast hard drive, and it's almost as fast as memory. So you don't have to duplicate as many things on the disk because you're not seeking. You don't have to duplicate terrain in so many different places. So just on a technical level, it immediately changes some of the paradigms. And you still have to be smart with memory management, streaming, and loading and stuff. But those hard drives do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Okay. Matrix, would Sean Layden? Thank you, Matrix. Would Sean Layden proposition of shorter games before leaving partially solve the cost issue and give them more flexibility for diverse games? So Sean, if you don't remember, he was like, the game, I'd love to go back to 8 to 12-hour AAA games, and then he left. Do you think that would actually help at this point, or is it like you answered earlier, you have to find the fun and iterate and build systems, and that's where most of the cost is anyway?
Yeah, and it's that part for sure.
Ghosts of this place are restless. It draws power from the spirit realm. It will fall like the rest.
Time for a boss fight, y'all. Let's get it. Oh, shit. Oh shit! That dude just messed me up. Come on, let's go, mother sucker. I eat those! Give me that money!
The treasure is in that squat building. I wonder what we'll find.
That was the toughest fight yet. Not gonna lie, that was a pretty tough fight.
Sure, but also it goes back to the desire to play games. I like short games, but I live in an ecosystem where I have a lot of games, so therefore it's self-serving, just so I can play other ones. People who are buying 4 games a year, it's a great value for them, and you don't want to milk it, but you want to provide you want to provide value for this person if you can. And not everybody looks at it as the short game as being the win. I do, but it's But for the right game, we'll invest a lot of time, and I think we just have to be mindful of that.
Okay. Willie, do you think game review? Kind of the same thing. Yeah. Do you think game review should have to show some sort of proof they finish? You said yes. Okay. Dick Jones, what hopes does Ben have for horde size if Days Gone 2 was PS5 only? I love the game, and the religious cult was well fleshed out. Great interview. So I assume the hordes would just get bigger and bigger and bigger, right? I mean...
I'm back, y'all. Sorry about that.
Something doesn't mean you should, and where the horde goes, just making it twice as big doesn't make it twice as fun. Right. Because it just means you're running away for twice as long.
So twice as smart?
With that?
Twice as smart, perhaps?
I think that things like that are where you go into. So you basically, you're not entering the battle. Figure you're just making the horde compete you. And I think that's the best place for designers to take the horde, because the horde, even when you're good, they're tough.
Okay. App99, Jason just said Jeff 8 being honest. I have no idea what that means, but App99, thank you so much for the super chat. Did Ben think about, this is from Pyotrek, using Unreal Engine 5 in the future? On Days Gone 2, what engine would you guys want to use?
Unreal 5 would be sweet. You know, the thing about using Unreal is, unlike kind of a proprietary engine, when you're done with the game and you want to upgrade, you basically upgrade it, you break everything, because the engine has moved on since you ported. So, Unreal 5 is sexy as hell. Again, I probably shouldn't go into the choices the studio's making, but Unreal 5, I'd love to make a game in Unreal 5. It's that sweet. And Unreal 4 was fun, but 5 is tailored towards the next generation hardware and the SSDs. So I think that, you know,
if you had a
choice, game. What's that?
Well, I was going to say, if you were still at Bend and you had a choice and they said, learn Unreal 5 or learn Decima, which one would you rather make Days Gone 2 in, given what you know now about Days Gone 1?
The engine that I could own would be the one that I chose.
That you
the
could
one that
own? Meaning that you had more mastery over?
The one that we owned. That, you know, so basically, you know, the difference between an Unreal and something like Decima is we could own Decima. You know, it would be ours. It wouldn't be something that we would be responsible for all the updates. And that's where it gets weird.
Okay.
With Unreal, what are they going to create and what are you going to create? And it's, you know, but if it's your tech, then
Hey, what's good, Shady? How you doing, my guy? Nice to see you back, man. It's been real quiet on the stream, to say the least. But honestly, I just been really enjoying my time with this game, man. This game is really dope. My plan is to get this game beat by the end of this month. I have to, because there's too many new games that are coming out, and my backlog is like ridiculous. If I don't at least try a little bit, like at least a little bit on trying to cut down this backlog, I will not be done with any of these games. I will not finish none of them. Like, they'll literally be there for years. Like, I will not be able to finish them. Because soon I'm going to be leaving for school, and I'm not going to be able to play like that. So I definitely got to get at least as many games beat as I can before I leave. Sorry if you hear any background noise, y'all. I'm just, I'm eating something really quickly, but... Alright, y'all, look at this. I definitely would, Shady. But the thing is, I'm trying to beat this game. This game, I looked it up online. This game is a 12-hour game. So that means that if I play it really hard by tonight, I could probably beat it. Maybe. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get this game beat as soon as I can. I have 5 PlayStation 5 games. I have not beat not one of them. I have Demon Souls, Spider-Man, GodFall, I got Cold War, I got Mortal Kombat. So I got like multiple games. I have not beat not even one of them. And this game is the shortest game out of all the games I played. I looked it up online. This game and Spider-Man Miles Morales, these 2 games are the shortest ones. So these are the games that realistically, with the amount of time that I have, I can get done. That's the only reason why I'm playing right now, to be honest with you, Shady. If this game was like 20 hours long, I wouldn't be playing this game right now. Because it's just, at this moment in time, at this point where I'm at in my life, I just don't have that type of time. But I will eventually, for sure. But right now, I don't.
Fascinating. There are fragments of your brother's war journal here.
He never missed a chance to revel in his glory.
We might be able to learn something about macros. I'll store these in my archive. We're done here. Let's head to the Twilight Beacon.
Shady, what was that? What was your message? This game honestly really reminds me of Call of Duty and no, not Call of Duty, God of War and Destiny. That's what this game really reminds me of. And damn, is this game pretty? Let me tell you, man. I don't know why people talk shit about this game when it first came out. It's really not bad. Like it's definitely an enjoyable experience. Like for real. Oh, you said you already beat Spider-Man? Yeah. I played it. I think I played Spider-Man only once, and it was because my little brother wanted to play it, but it wasn't really me playing it. I only played it for like 5 minutes. It was my little brother that was actually playing it. I had to focus on my work on the computer. But yeah, so far, man, I've been crushing it in this game. I know I'm several levels ahead of where I'm supposed to be, I think. I think I'm supposed to be at like level 7 or something. What level am I at right now? I'm supposed to be at level 7. I'm at level 14. I'm at double the level that I'm supposed to be at. I'm doing all the work now, so it's easier later. But definitely, let's get it, man. I feel like this game has a few elements of Dark Souls too. Not a lot, just a few. Just a few. Like 1 or 2. Child's play. Boom.
Sanctum. How complete are your archives?
Not very. Once Macros locked me away, I stopped getting new records altogether.
Right? I think I'm gonna be playing for about at least another hour, and then I gotta get to work. Alright. I got 2 missions done just right now, Shady.
The answer is very simple. Okay.
Tuna says, both of you guys are legends. How do you both feel about the answer very quickly, which is, I love now that I'm not creating for the medium. So I'm hoping I'm able to stay out of the medium unless there's very specific things for a very long time. The industry for me is all about procedural narrative. I think ultimately that's the holodeck. It's not VR, it's not AR, it's the story wrapping itself around your choices in a way that you don't even know.
Yeah.
Oh, you would agree?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that.
Okay. Almost done. I promise, Jeff. I'm sorry, bud. I'm not apologizing for their generosity. I'm apologizing because I know we're wearing you out.
That's right.
Juan says, I wanted to say appreciate what you guys have done and continue.
That was a good one, Shady.
Thank you so much, buddy. I appreciate that. Cook Terrence says, as a fan of Last of Us 2, how did the studio react to leaks and the effects? Did you all have to meet to make sure the same didn't happen to Days Gone? Well, Days Gone was out before Last of Us 2, so you guys didn't really have that scrutiny anyway because it was a new IP, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'm assuming people think... I saw some data, and I know you can't share this, but I saw some data. I had always been curious if the leaks or, frankly, and I'm with you on Last of Us 2. I didn't love Last of Us 1. I adore Last of Us 2. I think it's fucking phenomenal. And I think it's, as a progressive and just as a human, I think it's wonderful.
Oh, I gotta take this dude out, man. He's called the Wraith Lord Decima. We gotta take him out, man. We gotta take him out. Watch me take this guy out, Shady. Bonus. Hit enemies with shield throw. To be honest, I don't think I like the long sword. I think I'd rather two short swords because it just feels more visceral when you're attacking them. No? I've actually already been here. This is why I'm like at a way higher level than I should be because I've already been here and did all this. Watch, I'm gonna jump down there and do a soul crush. Watch this. Soul crush. Oh! Hold on, Shady. Oh! I got you right now, Shady. Give me a second, bro. Hold on, Shady. I got you right now, bro. Alright, call again. How do I get up there? I gotta get up there, and I don't have time to waste. What the... Oh! I don't know who the hell he thought he was. the hell? Where the hell did you come from? Crap, I missed. Good night. So you can sneak up behind me? Huh? Ever try to sneak up behind me? Oh, who the hell you think you are? Where you at? Where'd he go? There you are. Come here. I got something for you. Come here. Oh. I don't got much time. I want to try to get this done within a certain amount of time. If I want, I could come back and redo this mission again and go grab some items that I missed. But right now, I just need to hurry up and head straight there. Because I already been through this area. I've been through this whole area before. It just didn't let me fight the boss. Because I didn't know this was a boss fight. But I got to get through this shit quick. These bastards keep on healing them. Okay. Alright, now I'm not playing around no more. Soul Crush. Let's go. Damn mages, they take up all my time, bro. I'm gonna have to skip those enemies and go straight to this guy. Oh! Shit, I'm about to die. Shit, no, put it down, put your banner down. There we go. Woo! Get that ass torn up, boy. Oh shit. That's right, let's go. Oh, chopped your damn head off, bro. Let's get it. And I did it within the time limit, which is awesome. I didn't even think I was gonna make it. Dude, I had no heals and I still beat him. No, I gotta continue exploring. Because I rushed straight over here just to kill this guy. Dude, I had no heals and I still beat him. I destroyed this guy. Literally destroyed this guy. Okay, Shady, call me, bro. I'm ready now. If you want, you can hit the call button. My bad, bro. I had to hurry up and beat this boss, man.
That we have a fucking 200 million plus video game starring lesbians. I mean, it's like, finally, you know? But I was always curious if that may have hurt their bottom line, but I'm seeing figures that suggest that maybe it did not.
I don't think it did. I think that it strengthened it in some ways. Maybe if they lost some people, maybe they gained more. But what they did is they just boldly went in a direction and embraced it and celebrated and took risks. So I love the woke sensibility of it, but it doesn't feel contrived. Yeah. And I think it's Abby and Lev were two of the most innovative characters I've ever seen, and the game was so cinematic that it really got you that pull between, man, I really love Ellie, but she's being a bitch, she's being unreasonable, and Abby, yeah, she did something terrible. And to get the player thinking that way, you're entering the space of novels and movies, the types of kind of the dialogues and tensions that exist in our minds. They captured that, so I think that I wouldn't change a thing. They did it right, even though there was a lot of noise.
Okay. Anthony, Days Gone was taken down by Social Justice Warrior Games Media. The game was not a 71 on Metacritic, no way. He's just sharing his thoughts on that. We've talked about that. 007 says, thank you for Siphon Filter. It means a lot to me. Anthony says, Days Gone preached self-reliance and was slightly right-wing, so Social Justice Warrior left-wing Games Media tried their damnedest to take it down. I mean, maybe they did, but I'm super left-wing, I'm super progressive, and I can tell you, I love the tone. Like, I don't get Deacon as a dick at the beginning. I just get that he's just like, I'm not that kind of guy. My dad wasn't that kind of guy, but I know there are a lot of guys that are just like that. And it was kind of refreshing for a big title to have someone that didn't seem to be ashamed of just being a guy and didn't seem to apologize for it. It was like, oh, that's bizarrely, that's refreshing given where we're at with so many games. So, but I appreciate the comment on behalf of reading it to Jeff. Alex, what if Days Gone took place in the Siphon Filter universe? What if Gabe Logan tried to sabotage the facility where Sarah was working? What if? I mean, then you've got an interesting...
Dude, right. I mean, like I said, if I were 100% in control, that would be the world. They would be the same thing, and we would overlap the hell out of things.
Right.
And, so I'm a fan.
Okay. These are the last two super chats. Any advantage with PS5 having one set of hardware? Meaning if Days Gone 2 is going to get made, or what NetherRealm is making right now, is limited to one box. It's not going to be on Xbox, not going to be on PS4, it's only PS5 or Xbox X only, whatever. As a developer, do the fans of the game see better results because you only are focused on one piece of hardware?
So in the case of our menu system, I think that's a prime example of where knowing your hardware and knowing there's no split can really enable the team. So what our UX lead, his vision from the beginning was that we take this touchpad and we make it the swipe pad. And it's something where once you start to do it with Days Gone and then you play other games, you feel like they need to catch up. Because you can just press the button and go to a conventional menu, or you could swipe immediately in the direction of the page that you wanted to go to. So a lot of games would say, well, let's start them on the map, or let's start them on the quest screen, or start them here. So we don't have that issue because the players are in control of up, down, left, right. So they can go to like the 4 regions of the map before they dive into the submenus. That would have only been possible on the PS4, PS5 now. So that part's pretty cool. Is it enough to kind of support the isolation and being on a single platform? Maybe it's not worth it, but it is definitely a enhancement of things that have already been there because of the hardware and because we can count on it.
Okay. Last one, Daniel Taylor says, I just want to say I'm sorry if it's true Days Gone 2 isn't happening. I really loved it. I wanted a second one. I would have improved the storytelling, but I'm really sad to hear the news. It was my very first platinum. Oh, interesting. Okay, well.
Yeah, yes, the platinum, this was great. Our platinums, I wanted to be way harder. But we, the size of the game was so big that we kind of hedged near the end, saying, well, if one of the trophies fails, we get kicked out of certification, set us back. So the studio director kind of put on me to make all the trophies doable within a week. And we simplified them for the better because there is something profound about finishing a game, but there's something even more profound about getting your platinum. You bond with it. It holds a more special place in your heart. And for people to be able to do that with the game is great. Like you still have to work for it, but if you decide you want to do it, you can do it. It's not prohibitive. And the amount of tweets I get or messages from people that say that it was their first platinum, I think, it was an accident that we wound up doing that. But I'm so glad that it wound up that way because I think it serves the game, it serves the gamers, and it kind of puts out a new bill of rights for gamers. That you shouldn't have trophy systems that are grinds.
I agree with that. Okay, I have one final question. There are callers waiting, not a lot. You're done? I take it your voice is gone, dude. So
yeah, this is my voice.
Okay, so if you decide to come back, you guys hang out. I'll get your calls. But if you decide to come back, which I hope you do, so we can talk game design. I
would love to, for the record.
And I will have all that fixed, all this bullshit fixed. I never had this problem before. My last question. Jason Schreier's article paints an image of Bend, Naughty Dog, VASG, the Visual Artists Service Group, sort of at odds. That's what he thinks he knows. Do you think that story is not accurate? It's only accurate because he found some people that aren't happy, and in that there's always going to be people who aren't happy. But do you think that reflects the overall experience of those three groups working together? Or do you think that's just some people who are like, yeah, we don't like it here, and Jason asked us and we'll take the spotlight, why not? Or do you think there's some validity to that argument or to that statement?
I think that Jason is a serious journalist, and he brings a lot of integrity to his reporting. So did he find a narrow group of people that had this opinion? I don't believe. I believe that he did a diverse amount of research on this. So, I wasn't privy to the VASG Naughty Dog relationship. Our relationship over the years, going back to like 2009 with Naughty Dog, has always been good, and they've been incredibly supportive. There are pain points sometimes, for sure, but I think that there's elements of truth. I think that the article is true, based on the sources. And I think that he sources a lot of, I think he gets a lot of good sources. So I have faith in him, and I respect the article, even if it's not everybody's version of events. But I think the industry needs more people like Jason to kind of hold our feet to the fire in terms of bad habits that we have that create bad working conditions, maybe, and other things. But no, like I said, tremendous amount of respect for Jason. I've read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. Going to read the next one when it comes out. So I think that you guys should still qualify it, leave room for other interpretations of things, but I think that where there's smoke, there's fire.
I hate the voice.
It's a super hedgy answer.
No, it's a good answer, because I'm like, you motherfuckers, the last question and your voice is gone because, oh my God, that's a great Pandora's box, you motherfucker. But I appreciate it. No, it's good. It's I have one more question related to that. I'm sorry. I'll let you go. I'm so sorry. The very nature, though, as a manager, can that be helped, though, right? You're always going to have pain points. You're always going to have drama when you put people, let alone highly skilled, highly paid, highly educated people together, which is what you need to make video games. Is there a fire worth putting out, or is like that going, Jason, that's the creative process, man, when you're dealing with this high wire act? Like, is he reporting on something worth reporting on, or is he just saying, I'm trying to make it into something, but this is every time that you make a game?
I do think that it is almost every time you make a game. There's issues. I mean, every time you make a game, there's issues, especially as teams grow larger and more diverse. You've got different work ethics, you've got different mindsets, you've got different professional, expectations of professionalism on their part. You get Hollywood people who come in, and they're like, dude, we have line producers who can calculate how much it takes to do anything. But they've also got 140 years of empirical data.
And they have a screenplay. They're
not rebuilding the camera and the dolly tracks every time either. So they're similar but vastly different. And, could we do a cascaded schedule or a waterfall schedule? In theory, but you don't know what you don't know. And when you're trying to find the fun, and you're trying to do something new, you got to take risks, and you can't calculate with those costs.
So his article is correct in that there are actually some things that need to be improved, but it also reflects the fact that that's just the business as well. So it's kind of there's both of those are true.
Yes, and again, to hedge a little bit, to cover my butt here is. I think that Jason would not. I think that Jason's story is accurate. Maybe the severity of things could be, is the variable element there, but I believe him, but I also believe that it's not necessarily a terrible state of the industry.
Gotcha. Okay. You're over 50 years old.
Yes, sir.
I'm not 50 years old. I'm 49. Your beard looks like you're 28. What the fuck is happening in Oregon, and should I move there?
No, because I got plenty of gray. I just, what do they say, vanity goes before the fall.
Oh, okay, that's conscious. That's a look.
I do use a little bit of henna, but I'm honest about it.
Okay, so you're cultivating a look. I understand.
Well, no, I'm 50, but I'm afraid of getting older, so it all comes down to that. But I'm more than honest about it. There's plenty of gray here. You just can't see it. But,
gotcha.
Yeah, here it's dark, and then it radiates, and it looks like yours. So
here's one of the benefits of being average looking like I am. We never got used to being called. We never had the pretty privilege, so we don't care when we get old. People like you who are nice looking folks, it's like, well, sucks to be you now, because you got to put all that shit into it. But good for you. You don't look 50.
I've never said that, dude. And I wish that worked my life.
Oh, no. All right, well, you don't look 50. You look great. It's so good to meet you. Thank you for your time, man. I would love to have you back on when your voice is rested and all this shitstorm has passed, and we can really get into the meat of game design, because it sounds like you've got some really cool ideas, especially about open world. I will reach out in a couple of weeks or a month if you're open to it. I would love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I look forward to that conversation because, I have it to hedge a little bit here. Sorry, guys. Please appreciate that and understand. I'm generally very open, but, I just can't be 100% here. But on the game design stuff, yeah, absolutely. We can talk shop. We can go into deep dives. Nothing's off limits at that point, and I just really look forward to it.
Okay, I'm going to stay on the line. We're going to let Jeffrey go so I can get some of these calls, and if there's anything drastic, I'll send you a tweet or an email and say, oh, this is a great question. When you get a moment, could you just type me a response?
Yep.
All right, Jim, thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
All right, so let me get these calls really quick. But yeah, thank you guys. Thank you for all the super chats. Thank you for all the great conversation. And let me get some calls because you guys have been waiting. I apologize, but I've done interviews like this before, and it wasn't a problem. For some reason, we could not get Jeff on with the callers. The next guest who comes on, and when Jeff comes back, I will have that worked out. For now, this is Alex Roca. Alex, what do you want to talk about? Alex, go. All right, we'll put him back on mute. This is Brolov. Brolov, go.
Hi, Dave.
What's up, man?
I'm fine, thank you.
Good.
I just want to say that God of War 1 was a really, really good game.
Oh.
And thank you for this wonderful conversation tonight.
Well, on behalf of all of us who made God of War, thank you. On behalf of myself and Jeff, thank you. I had so much fun talking to him. I had never met him before, and it was really cool to talk to a guy who has such insight and can articulate game design and sort of management of game design in his way. So thanks for watching and thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Thank you, man.
All right, talk to you soon. Alex Roca, we'll try you again. Are you there, buddy? Nope. Okay. Alex, what's up, man?
I will ask to...
You got to talk a little louder. You're really quiet.
Yeah. I want to ask him about freedom.
You want to ask him about what?
Creative freedom inside Sony.
Oh, okay. Creative freedom inside Sony. Okay.
On AAA, if other than ask him about logical stuff, about taking care about huge budget and making sure there is the quality and if it is, from the last of us.
Gotcha. Okay.
He has creative freedom there.
Okay, cool. Thank you, Alex. I'll speak to that real quick, and then if he wants to chime in later, I'll get back to you guys in the next stream. Thanks, Alex. My gut is what he's saying is what he has already said about that, which is, the messaging that is out there. And I don't know, I read that interview we just did with Jeffrey I know it's Jeff. It's funny. I don't know what to tell you. I read that a little bit differently maybe than some people. Like, I'll be curious what people took in terms of is Days Gone still in production. I was fascinated by what he said at the end about Jason's article. I mean, as much as he was being a very responsible grown-up that has payments to the Harley dealership for his bike, the fact that he's giving Jason Schreier a lot of credit, saying the article is true, maybe it's not as hyperbolic, but it's true, I think there's a lot of telling stuff there. So related to what Alex was saying, one of the things I took from this is, yes, there's creative freedom in Sony. Yes, it is still in the DNA because you've got people like Rhodey and Connie and Herman who are continuing to allow teams to work, but they are obviously having to close the moat or raise the moat. That's wrong. Close the gates a little bit tighter, I guess. I don't have an analogy. I'm sorry. In the sense that budgets are getting higher and it's not as free for all as it used to be. And in that, there is some pain, but it's not like EA where it's like marketing says you have to make a game with 6 gorillas, right? It's not that. That's what I get. Caveman, it's Jaffe. What's up? Okay, yeah, go. What's up, bud?
Yeah, actually, I mean, this is kind of more something that I'd like you to get into with him, but he sounds like he's more on the sort of the technical building system kind of side, where the other guy was more of the narrative. And I'd love for you to talk.
I'm going to bring up. I've spoken with John Garvin, who was his sort of partner, who is no longer there either. And I emailed him. He also writes books and is an editor. His new book finally came out recently, and he was waiting to finish his book. So now that his book is done, I'm going to reach out to him again and say, will you please come on? Because, yeah, I want to hear his side of it. I want to hear the narrative stuff. I'm assuming that's what you're saying. You would like to hear him discuss maybe more of the character and story aspect of Days Gone?
Well, I think that too, but I actually really want to know about the intersection of that, like the actual integration between the story and the systems and like sort of the struggles of that, because I feel like that's kind of...
Caveman, hang on a second. My daughter, she's a knucklehead, and she's gone. Okay, sorry, you want to know about the intersection of how the narrative and the mechanics kind of come together?
Yeah, because I think that's like the big thing, especially like the challenge with video games now with all these like big blockbuster sort of story-based games is like the combination of that. And so I kind of want to know about the struggles of that.
I don't think you're wrong. I'm trying to think, what was the game I was playing recently? Oh, you know what? I was playing with Rob DeMont. I was playing It Takes Two. And that game, I think, reflects the marriage of narrative and mechanics better than any game. I mean, there's a few indie games that I would cite that are maybe stronger, but the fact that you're playing that game and the narrative is exactly about trying to get shit done with a partner and how hard that can be sometimes is fascinating. And so, yeah, I would love to talk to them about that as well in regards to how do you reflect the narrative, emotional beats of Days Gone while you're actually having gunfights and shit like that. So I will definitely bring that up. Thanks, man.
Cool.
All right. Goodbye, caveman. This is somebody for, I don't know what your name is. It's come on, man. Come on. I don't know what to tell you. He's on. You got a Jack and Daxter logo. What's up, man? Your name starts with an F and the next numbers of 4. Are you on? Can you hear me? Oh, shit. There you go. Are you on? Go. Go. You're on, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, okay. As a creative, I always found interesting the problem that some studios have between choosing and making a sequel or new IP or working on a licensed property like Spider-Man. How do you choose what next project you want to work on as a team when you're not sure if it's going to be greenlit by your publisher, in this case Sony?
Well, I mean, my understanding of the way Sony does it still is teams will go to Sony and pitch something. And I guess it's Herman, and it's obviously Jim Ryan, and probably guys from sales and ladies from sales. I don't know who's in that sort of star chamber that says yes or no. But sometimes it will be that. It will usually be a team. And in terms of what it is, I think it's just really a question of what the team's interested in. I know when I was still doing stuff with Sony, we went to them. I've gone to Sony twice over the years and said, I want to do an Iron Man game. The first time was before there was even an Iron Man movie. And that was a license. If I was still at Sony as a regular employee, I would be banging on their door every week going, can I please make a Marvel superhero, super cute kart racing battle game, So sometimes I think those desires still come from the team. But I imagine as the budgets get bigger, you're probably going to start to see a bigger play with franchises that are already established. So they know Tsushima works, they know God of War works, they know Last of Us works, they know Nathan Drake works. You're probably going to start seeing more of a Nintendo factor in some of these characters. You'll still take chances, but they might be in worlds and IPs that have already been proven. That's just my theory. But if we get him back on, we will ask him that. I appreciate the question, buddy. Thank you.
I'm asking because after playing Days Gone, I saw a lot of systems and mechanics could have worked with other licensed Blade or Ghost Rider, and I always wondered how a long-time studio fan could approach Sony to pitching we want to make a Blade game or a Ghost Rider game using those mechanics and trying to bring players to learn more about those characters in this universe.
Yeah, sometimes it might be Marvel coming now that Marvel has a great relationship with PlayStation. Maybe Marvel comes. I think the birth of every project is different, and it's as unique as the individuals who make it. So I don't think there's always you never know why someone's going to be inspired to propose something. But that's my experience. But we can bring it up again next time we have them on. Thanks, man. I appreciate it, buddy. Okay, this is Kurangi. Kurangi, go.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you great. What's up?
All right, cool. I just wanted to ask you, what do you think about, I feel like with God of War, a big part of that, or Kratos' journey, was that he obviously he's an anti-hero, but it's kind of like taking a step further where I don't know if he even learns anything at the end.
Are you talking about God of War? Which God of War? God of War 1 or the new one?
No, the old ones, but I mean 1 to 3. I'm not really familiar with Ascension, but
okay.
I just mean that journey that he has where it's just kind of the end is just him finding peace. And I feel like I'd like to see more games where, the protagonist doesn't really learn anything at the end, and it's more about them just kind of getting to an ending. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think if you take a writing class, they will tell you that every character in a good story has an arc. But I also think if you look at comic books, and I've asked comic book writers this because there was a time I wanted to learn to write comics, and I would ask, I asked Kurt Busiek, I asked Mark Waid, I asked very famous comic writers, Paul Jenkins. I said, I don't understand it. I'm always told that I need my characters to grow, and yet you can't grow Spider-Man. You can't have the end of issue 800 Amazing Spider-Man suddenly be Spider-Man decides he wants to go in a different direction. And they're like, what they find makes a lot of sense is to give different, co-starring characters the arcs and let Spider-Man be consistent. So I don't, in God of War 1, the one that I was the lead writer on and the game director, the lead designer, Kratos at the end was only different in that I guess he had made peace within reason that he was always going to be tortured mentally. But I never thought to give him an arc. I thought he was good.
I feel like that's, sorry to interrupt, I feel like that's the end of all 3 of the games almost, just with sort of different ways,
the third one
ends.
I think the third one a lot of people cite as their favorite, but I think it was really weird that he had to find hope at the end of the third one. I was just like, that felt very Drive to me. But, you know, a lot of people love that game, and I love the game, too. It's one of my favorite games that year. But that part of the story rang false to me.
Yeah, I actually would totally agree. Like, I like almost everything in that in 3, except the ending, where it was just kind of like, it kind of deconstructed itself too much and had too many, like, we got you out, you weren't expecting that, like, too many times in a row, where you're like, I'm disconnected.
Why do you talk so funny?
Oh, me? I'm in Scotland.
Oh, that's weird. I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm
kidding.
I'm Scottish.
I know you're Scottish. What accent am I doing right now? Can you tell what accent this is?
A crazy one?
Yes, exactly.
Most people that are around where I'm from would be like, oh, how are you doing? Oh, this is how it sounds, eh? But this are that kind of voice.
I think, what is her name who played Amy Pond from Doctor Who? She's in the Marvel movies as Nebula. She's in Jumanji.
I know the actress, but I don't know her name. Yeah.
She's got the sexiest fucking Scottish accent. Doesn't matter. Thank you for the call. I appreciate it, buddy.
That's cool.
All right, this is Fat Boo. What's up, Fat Boo? Go.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
All the time, anytime. You're too quiet.
All right, man. I was really happy that you brought up It Takes Two. I can't wait to play that game, and I think 2-player co-op games need to be like. There has to be more of them out there. I played their previous game, A Way Out, which was incredibly fun with my friend, and I played their previous game, Brothers, which in terms of storytelling experience, I was not expecting. It's not a spoiler, I hope. I wasn't expecting the end, but it was really, really great. The point I'm getting at here is 2-player co-op